But as you all know, I'm Trinae. I'm Workforce Development Manager here at the Amputee Coalition. I want to thank Cass and Ashley for joining us this afternoon, along with Maurice, Patrice, and Jordan. I'd like to introduce our President and CEO, Cass Isidro, as well as Ashley White, our Chief Strategy and Programs Officer. And I'll let them talk more, introduce themselves more, and introduce what they do here at the Amputee Coalition. But it's a pleasure to have you both, Cass and Ashley. Thank you so much for joining us this afternoon.
Thanks, Trinea, and thank you to all of you for joining this effort with us as we look to influence workforce and career pathways for our community moving forward. So really appreciate your voice in talking with us, your ambassadorship and sharing information that you get from these calls as we all seek to be advocates and share information and change systems and policies and employment and all the big things. I have a lot of excitement around the formation of this group, and thank you to Trinea for spearheading the thoughts and ideas to get us going, and really look forward to all that's going to come out of this. So I would just encourage you, we view all of our committees, all of our groups, all of our advisors as partners. So as we're doing good, let us know. As we need to do better, let us know so that we can all be on this path of continuous improvement together. But thank you for showing up and helping us make a difference. And that's all I have to say. You have a full meeting, and I just hitched a ride last week when I heard this was happening. So I appreciate the inclusion overall. Ashley, I'll go to you.
Like Cass, I hitched a ride, but I'm so grateful to be here and meet you all, those that I haven't met previously. I am the Chief Strategy and Programs Officer at the organization. Been here for since September of 2022, and prior to that was the Health Policy Director at the American Orthotic and Prosthetic Association. My father is a prosthetist, so I've been around this community my entire life. And I'm very grateful to you all for showing up and giving your time towards this really important effort. I am not sure how much has been shared with you all, but career path employment is a primary quality of life measure. It's something that we are dedicated to providing resources, education, services, all things that we can contribute to the fullest. And so I'm so thankful to Trinea for work, and Maurice and Jordan for their work in the department to do that. So nice to meet you all.
Thank you so much, Cass and Ashley. Again, it's a pleasure. I figured we could take this time, since there's some new Employment Council members on the call, if we all just want to give just a quick introduction for us to meet one another.
I'll start. Hi, everyone. I'm Gina Baxter. I work with Hanger Orthotics and Prosthetics, and we have O&P clinics throughout the U.S., and I'm located in Greenville, South Carolina.
I'll go. I'm Ayana Washington with Easter Seals, Florida, Director of Workforce Development, and located right outside of Orlando. And we cover about 45, 46 counties in Florida.
My name is E.Q. Sylvester. I'm a triple amputee. I am chairman of the Next Level Foundation. I am the chairman emeritus of the United States Adaptive Golf Alliance, which we started about 10 years ago, which includes over 46,000 disabled in the game of golf. And I started the Next Level Foundation because the USAGA had a three-step process, which was teach, play, and compete. I wish to add a fourth step to the process, which is called employment. That's why I started the Next Level Foundation, to employ more disabled in the workforce. And we are making progress here in Chicago. We don't want to overextend our capabilities. So once we're successful in Chicago, we will move on to other states around the country. Thank you for the pleasure and honor of being part of your organization.
I guess I'll go next. I'm Paula Galladay. I am blissfully retired. Prior to retiring, I worked as a sign language interpreter for approximately 30 years. Then I moved into the federal government, working in recruitment and retention and promotion, utilizing employment for individuals with disabilities and veterans. I'm well schooled in some of the rather antiquated regulations hiring individuals with disabilities, and have petitioned both OPM and congressional offices to please look into a regulation written and not updated since 1979. I think it needs to be changed. So far, I have not made inroads, but my goal is to see qualified candidates hired throughout both public and private entities. And for those that work with the workforce programs within the states, more than likely I either contacted you or one of your compatriots.
And oh, sorry, go ahead, Lisa. Oh, go
No,
ahead.
that's okay. I'm Lisa Seeley. I am a work from home vocational counselor with My Employment Options. And we are an employment network affiliated with the Social Security Administration. So all of our clients are on disability, and we provide services to help those receiving benefits ease back into the workforce. So we do, we like to partner with various employers or different agencies that would help assist the disabled population with returning to work and obtaining sustainable employment. So thank you so much for having us. My coworker Anne is here as well.
Hello. I'll
Hi,
ditto
everyone.
that.
Okay, so I'll jump in. Hi, everyone. My name is Chelsea Little, and I am a global diversity and inclusion lead at Lockheed Martin, which is a global security and aerospace company. And I am here on behalf of my director, which is Shantice Adams, and she is the director of global diversity and inclusion in our missiles and fire control department. So happy to be here, and it's nice to meet all of you.
Hi, everyone. I'm Julia. I'm with the National Youth Employment Coalition, and I'm located in Los Angeles, but we're based in DC, so also working remote. We work with Opportunity Youth, ages 16 to 24, although those numbers are a little bit wider now. 14 to 26, who are often systems impacted or have barriers to employment, including, mental health, disabilities, and other, topic areas or issue areas that might impede a person's ability to have meaningful and gainful employment and career pathways. So we are comprised of direct service organizations, nonprofits, local workforce boards, local city governments, foundations, and intermediaries.
I'll go next. Hi, everyone. My name is Mariana Costa. I am a recruiter here at UCLA, the #1 public university in the nation. And one of my responsibilities is community outreach. So I'm very excited to be here and inform the community about the different job possibilities at UCLA. So I look forward to working with everyone.
Hi, everyone. I'm Melissa. I'm a recruiter at T-Mobile, supporting our career programs across the entire enterprise, so all lines of business. And I primarily support our diversity, equity, inclusion efforts here. So I'm located out of Overland Park, Kansas, so Kansas City, essentially. So go Chiefs.
So I'm Lisa Bloodworth, work with Global Connections to Employment, which is an AbilityOne employer. Our home office is in Pensacola, Florida, although we do have contract sites in 15 other states and DC. And in the local Pensacola area, we also have multiple vocational rehabilitation, traditional programs, on-the-job training, supported employment, project search, transition services for youth, and just happy to be here today. And even though I'm in Pensacola, go Chiefs. Very happy about their win.
I'll go next because I had no stake in this football game. I live in New England, so okay, we'll just start with that. But my name is Julie Oakley and I work for Walgreens. I'm a field disability specialist for East, so I cover 15 states. And me and my team work on our disability skill training programs and hiring programs, and also really partner closely with our business resource group called Disability Alliance. I'm happy to be here and meet you all.
I'm Sonia Kurzeppa and I'm with Ability Go. We are a disabled-owned business and we actually hire from the disabled community. So we're an employer. We're the ones out there hoping that many of you are going to be able to share opportunities with us and employees with us. It's great to be here and again, pleasure and honor to do so.
I guess I can jump in and introduce myself. My name is Matt Kelly. I'm the Director of Talent Management for the Institute of International Education. I'm happy to be part of the council. I have a history in working in workforce development programs. We, as an organization, are really looking to increase accessibility and work with the people that are participants in your programs. And so we hire in a number of locations, New York, DC, Chicago, Houston, as well as San Francisco domestically. So we're just hoping to create a nice partnership and share our open opportunities and hopefully connect with some of the folks that you work with. Thanks for having me.
How do we connect with you?
I can share my info in the chat. I don't know, Trinea, if there's other formats that you have for us to connect, but I can definitely share my email address and contact information in the chat of this meeting. But if there's any other formats you'd recommend, Trinea, I'd be happy to do that as well.
In the chat is fine, Matt. That'll be perfect.
Yeah, Trinea, I'll just chime in. At some point, do you want to create like a centralized doc of all of our contact information? So it's just like we can grab each other's info if we want to reach out direct. It might make sense.
Absolutely. That's what I was going to touch upon also during this meeting, where I'm going to create a contact list. If anyone wants to reach out to one another or share ideas, everyone will have each other's contact information. So I'll make sure to get that out to everyone by the end of this week.
Cool, appreciate it. Yeah, it'll be easier for people who want to do one-on-ones. By the way, I'm Dave Calmer. I'm a client director at Extreme Networks. We're an infrastructure company. Trinea has blessed us with doing a webinar and she's been very patient about the flexibility of it flip-flopping all over, but towards the end of the month. I cover the NFL, MLS, USL. I'm a Giants fan, so no Go Chiefs and no Niners, but you know, I had no stake in the game like you, Julie. It didn't matter to me all that much. And I also, while I'm doing that, I vice chair our Abilities Alliance employee resource group. So we're just starting to build that up. This is great exposure. Any advice, I welcome it. I like to be collaborative in how we build this out and just really get more awareness about what's going on with this. So thanks for being here.
If you're interested in the golf world, please get a hold of me.
I love golf. I'm going to Scotland to play St. Andrews in June. Absolutely.
Good, I can help you.
Yes. Once again, we'll exchange info. Thank you.
Triana, may I ask the employers or those that are running, whether it's a public or private website, not sure if you know, but it would be incredibly correct, I guess, if you would ensure that your websites open to the public, I'm not talking about internal per se, meet the telecommunications 508 compliance. Now they may, I don't know. So please don't take offense if I have stepped on any toes. You can step on mine, they're carbon, so it doesn't matter. I'm also a bilateral lower limb amputee. But it really is important that your websites are applicable for all people. By that, I mean they are coded so those that use screen readers, blind, low vision, actually have access to all the information. Any videos are captioned. It would be wonderful if you would actually have an interpreter embedded, but we'll settle for captioning. And there's a host of other things. Just because someone is an amputee, they may also fit other disability, whatever you want to call it, levels or not, but it's a very important thing. If I don't know what's on your website, I can't apply for your jobs.
So Paula, is that past ADA compliance?
Oh, yes, yes. So if you go, the most applicable place to find information, and I'm sure it'll be in the notes, but I can pass it along once everybody sends, the Trina sends out the list of who. It's the U.S. Access Board, and it's the Telecommunications Act, 508. It is rather comprehensive. By law, you're supposed to meet the regulations. So it's the federal government, and we'll leave that statement on the table. But truly, if you're putting out information for candidates to apply, and I can't see because you didn't code it correctly, so my screen reader, such as JAWS, it's the most popular one, is not telling me what's on that screen. If your forms are not PDF fillable and coded so it says first name, last name, whatever it may be, how do I apply for your job? If you're giving information out via a promo video and I'm deaf and there's no captioning, how do I know what you're telling me? And there's many, many other things, but I'd be more than happy to speak with you, Dave, after the meeting at another time. I won't tell you I'm an expert, but I will tell you I'm well schooled.
No, yeah, look, it would be great. I would love to just have the information, the resources, and see what I can do to push it through my leadership and see kind of where we are in our journey.
Thank you.
Yep. Okay, great. Thank you.
Thank you so much, everyone, for the introductions. So I'm going to share my screen. Is everyone able to see that okay? Perfect. Today,
That's
we're going to talk about participation within Amputee Coalition's programming. So the main event that we have here at the Amputee Coalition each year is our national conference. Some of our Employment Council members that's on this call had the opportunity to participate within our workforce development track last year at our national conference in Orlando. This year, a national conference is going to be August 8th through the 10th at the Hyatt Regency in Atlanta. So essentially, we would love some of our Employment Council members, to participate, within our panel discussion on career growth and breakout sessions on different job-related topics. This year also, we're focusing on having a career resource fair. So I think it would be great to have some free job fair sessions to meet with attendees and workforce development participants on resume review and interviewing tips. So if there is any employers or organizations that are interested in being part of that resume review or interviewing tips, that would be great. This is for our participants who may be new to going to a career fair or speaking to employers on different job opportunities. So having pre-sessions will allow that attendee to feel more comfortable with their interviewing skills and have the opportunity to meet with you all and resume review to make sure that they're most prepared when they're going in to the career fair to speak with employers. Another major event that we have each year is our youth camp. Our youth camp this year is going to be July 15th through the 19th at Camp Aranzazu in Rockport, Texas. So we're also looking for participation within our workforce development track at youth camp. So particularly breakout sessions on creating a resume, interviewing skills, different vocational rehabilitation services, college readiness, or any resources on internships, apprenticeships, and job opportunities for youth ages 15 to 17. We also will be starting our YEP Youth Council. Our first meeting will be February 21st between 5 and 6 p.m. Eastern Time. Our YEP Youth Council is composed of a president, vice president, secretary, and treasurer. These participants are part of our youth engagement program. And as the YEP Youth Council, our youth council members will take part in a yearly or annual project aligned with workforce development, advocacy, community service, social enterprises, and entrepreneurship. So if any organization or employment council member have any ideas on maybe certain projects that our youth council members are able to take part of, that will be great. We also have a youth check-in each month. So that meeting is after our YEP Youth Council meeting, where we speak with our YEP participants to just see how they're doing, see what programming they might be interested in, and provide any updates or any webinars or youth camps or in-person events that we'll be holding throughout the year. We'll also be having our community outreach events. Our first one is slated for June of this year, and that's at the Gaston Community Center in Memphis, Tennessee. This community outreach event is more geared towards our youth engagement program, but we'll also have a workforce development component to it as well. So we're looking to host a career and resource fair, as well as a panel discussion. We would love to have employment council members and organizations, the colleges and universities represented at our community outreach event, as well as we're looking at having a community outreach event in the Mississippi Delta area at the end of the year in September. We also are looking for participation within our workforce development webinars. So right now we are scheduled to have 12 workforce development webinars in total for our adults and youth workforce development programs. Webinars will be tailored towards the organization's internships, apprenticeships, professional development, and job opportunities for adults, veterans, and youth with limb loss and limb difference. Webinars could also include other topics such as college readiness, majors and careers within public health, orthotics and prosthetics, resume writing, and interviewing tips. And finally, we have our job center and our intern board. So our job center and intern board is the opportunity where employers, organizations, and colleges and universities could post internships, apprenticeships, and job opportunities for adults, veterans, and youth with limb loss and limb difference. The interesting thing about our job board, or both of our job boards, is that we have different job board packages. So if your organization is looking to post a large quantity of job opportunities, that's definitely available. The most common is our 15 or 20 pack of 30 job day postings. But if you're looking to post more job postings, if you say, Trinea, I want to post 50, we could definitely work to make sure we're getting you a package that fits the organization's needs. So now I'm gonna leave some time, if anyone has any questions. I'll also be sharing out, in addition to the contact list, I'm gonna be sharing out a sign-up sheet where I'll be including all Employment Council members on, where there'll be a breakdown, National Conference, Youth Camp, our YEP Council, and community events, if anyone is interested in participating in any events or panels or breakout sessions. I'll definitely be sharing that as well by the end of the week.
Looks like you guys have a lot of fun events planned, so it looks pretty good. I mean, I didn't see a lot in my local area, but I look forward to attending the meeting in August. And then also with the webinars, I'd be very, very interested in helping out with some of those, or even partnering with others on the call too to maybe do some of those. I think it'd be a great idea. So it's exciting.
Absolutely. And Gina, it was great, having you part of our workforce development track last year at National Conference, your session on the different job opportunities within Hanger, I think was great, and maybe collaborating on that on a webinar as well as at our national conference will be awesome for our workforce development participants and our attendees.
Yeah, I agree. It was great. It was good to meet everybody. And, afterwards, I think I've shared this with you before, I had some people reach out and call and send resumes and different things. So it's exciting to be able to present those. So thank you.
That's excellent. I have a couple of, I don't know if I want to call them questions, but food for thought. Specifically, I guess, for the representatives that are on the meeting with private organizations. Do you hold career fairs specifically for individuals with disabilities within your corporate? And if you do, 10 thumbs up. If you don't, would you consider it? What other areas do you do marketing outreach specifically for individuals with disabilities? I will say that I have a penchant for limb loss, since I am, but I don't want to narrow the field. And then once someone is on board, what training do you provide to the managers, not to yourselves per se, or those that may work within your EEO or DEI confine, however you break out your corporation, but what training are you providing for your managers so they are comfortable with hiring somebody with a disability, as well as then if that person is going to work in a specific work group, that their colleagues are also welcoming and comfortable?
That was a lot of food for thought. I think I might have missed the first nibbles now that I'm thinking about the last one. So talking about the training, right? So all of our employees get disability etiquette. That's just a normal part that every employee has. Our managers get additional training. It's got a couple different tracks. So part of it is interviewing. So for example, we don't want someone interviewing a customer service associate to think if someone's not giving me eye contact, they're not going to have good customer service. So we talk about, the different ways you can interview. And then that also is part of our training when we're giving reviews and how are you evaluating folks and are you paying attention to how different people communicate? So it sort of just continues to build. I don't know if that answers that last question for you, but that's what we're trying to do. And then also for if someone does have a disability, especially if they're connected with our BRG and want more support, we always offer that too. So if maybe they want to have a meeting with their manager, aren't sure how to go about it, we have additional resources for them there as well.
Thank you. And I'm very much aware of Walgreens outreach. I've read quite a bit as to the efforts Walgreens has put forth. And that is not to say that the other companies being representative are not doing that. It's just that Walgreens is one that I'm familiar with going back when I was working.
I'll say for Easter Seals, obviously our organization is for individuals with disabilities from a baby to no age So in our area, I'll speak for inside the company. I think they do a really good job. Easter Seals Florida. Now, Easter Seals is a huge nonprofit that is a national one, but in our part, Easter Seals Florida, they do a really good job at, and I'll use Camp Challenge as an example. Camp Challenge is a really special place for children and adults with disabilities to come and just have a great summer, spring break. But what we've done, they hire some of the kids that partake in that camp. When they get older, they see them coming, we let them know there's a real opportunity for you to be part of our organization. You've come to camp, you know it, and they've taken adults who've been coming to camp for a very long time. And as they get to that high school age, where they're looking for work, where they're leaving, and let them know, hey, there's a place for you here to work. You enjoyed camp. It was part of your life for so long. You can have employment here. And of course, we are trained not only with disabilities, but we've also with DEI and inclusion. We talk about we talk a lot about the disabilities you cannot see. So, and we have a whole training within orientation about those things. And so we try to hire from within, even participation at our facilities. So not just Camp Challenge, but some of our other facilities. And one of the best kids, he's now like 17, going to be 17. He is an amputee. But he was raised on camp. His mother is a camp director. And he works and he goes around, and he is just a living example of what Easter Seals is about as far as hiring from within, and also showing everybody the opportunities that we give within our own organization, because we have people that work for us, we have employees that use our services, and we want to show them it is for you too. And so employment here is for everyone. And I personally do participate in job fairs and resource fairs that are specifically for people with disabilities as much as I can. We're growing our part of the world, so I've been trying to hire. So as much as I can, we try to all go out in our parts and participate in all the job fairs, but definitely the ones that is specifically for individuals with disabilities.
Does anyone else have any other thoughts or questions?
We haven't had career fairs specifically for those individuals with disabilities, but I will say we have a lot of amputees on staff. So being with the orthotic and prosthetic industry, I would say a lot of our clinicians are amputees themselves. So and even those that are coming up through residencies as well. And we do, with some folks, be able to provide services to help out, or, we have extenders now because we have several residents that have come up through programs with disabilities as well. And we've been able to, have someone that would assist them in the offices, to work with documentation and different things like that, casting with the patient, that sort of thing. So we definitely have, ways to be able to work with all individuals. So been able to accommodate those. So, but yeah.
I can add our experience or our approach. Sounds like it's fairly similar to Ms. Washington's. We at IIE are a smaller, or I guess mid-sized organization. We have about 600 employees. And so on average, we have somewhere around 15, maybe 20 open positions at a time. And so we actually don't host our own career fairs in general. But we do try to participate in any career fairs that are focused on accessing and working with those with disabilities. But it's something to think about if we did have a larger need, and we were to have a career fair. I think we would try to give equal time to general career fair, and then one that's specifically designed for disabled or amputees or any number of candidates in those categories.
Our organization, Employment Options, we actually have 2 virtual job fairs a year, and we do open it up to the general public, but our main target is the disabled population. And you know, we always welcome, you know, different employers or, you know, EEI organizations or whatnot to attend. And, you know, we like to, you know, build our network and just be able to help, you know, people, you know, sorry, my dog is barking in the background, attend, you know, and just share jobs and, you know, get people, you know, employed and career started or whatnot too. So I can definitely share information, you know, once we get that established too.
I just wanted to throw in, and I'm sorry for talking so much, but especially Matt, as you said, your company is small and you might only have 15 or so jobs open at a time. And so it would be rather cumbersome to hold a fair. I understand that, but don't forget your college campuses. I think every college they all have career services, and most of them have career services specifically for individuals with disabilities. It's a great place to find talent. It's a great place to advertise your positions. They're usually looking for people to come and speak with their students, maybe do mock interviews, whatever it may be. So by all means, reach out to your colleges, both your 2-year and 4-year institutions.
Great point. I actually used to work at a 2-year college career center a few moons ago, and we do a lot of partnering with different universities. But I will include that for myself and my team to ask if they do have any specific fairs to this end. So great point, Paula. Appreciate that.
Do you have any secrets for breaking through into those colleges? I'm in Chicago near Northwestern, and apparently I've not been successful in reaching out to them and telling them of the opportunities that we offer for employment of people with disabilities. And they've been very cordial, but it doesn't seem that we're striking a very rich chord.
Secrets, obviously, persistence in a polite manner, obviously. Have you tried to contact the director of the career services directly? That should be listed on the website of the university. If that doesn't open up doors, honestly, there have been times when I was working, I would just show up if it was within my local area. I worked in the DC, Virginia, Maryland area. It's kind of hard to slam the door in someone's face when they're standing there politely. I would also find out when they have their career fairs, because most colleges have 2 a year, one in the fall and one in early mid-spring. Find out when they're having them. Very often it is a paid entry. I don't know, where you stand on that. But generally the day before the fairs, they hold sessions for their students for mock interviews, resume reviews. That's another golden opportunity. And they don't ask you to pay for that. And just call them and say, I'd love to show up at your career service center, name the date, and I'd be happy to do mock interviews or resume reviews for your students. Our niche is
Thank you.
You're
Appreciate
welcome.
it.
One other suggestion you might want to consider, at least from my time working in a career center, sometimes employers would reach out directly to a head of a department. If there's, for instance, a certain sector of work or a certain industry, and you see that it aligns with a certain program at that school, direct outreach to the department head or the program administrator for that program might get them excited about it and then help you make the connection with the career center. Many career centers and many schools have a lot of silos. And so they may not, all departments may not be talking to each other. Sometimes some of the school departments have their own career fairs outside of what the career center is doing. So that may be one other approach to consider on top of the outreach to the career center.
Yep.
Thank you.
Just about every school will list their career fairs. It might be the general, where you'll have 400 people show up, or it might be, as Matt said, the IT department, I don't know, the communications department, whatever it may be. Those are smaller, and you will get to meet people, as Matt said, directly.
Thank you.
Yeah, I know Northwestern EQ, if you haven't met, they have a OMP master's program there. So that I would think you'd have a good end to talk to them. They might be able to direct you or point you in the right direction as well.
Fabulous. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Great. So I figured we could use the rest of our time. If any employment council members want to give any updates on any programming, internships, apprenticeships, job opportunities that their organization may have at this time to share with our workforce development participants, as well as ending it with Q&A. And Maurice, if you have anything to add in regards to our youth camp and our youth council, that would be great as well.
I have two things to share. So one is directly youth related, and then one would be more for practitioners. So on the youth side, and I'm trying to pull up the link as I talk, so I was trying to not be the first one to go. I'll put it in the chat. But we have our Youth Advisory Council applications open till the 16th for the National Youth Employment Coalition. So it's an opportunity for young people to be directly involved in things like policy and advocacy and just workforce development in general, and really have their voice be, uplifted within the work in the space that we're in. So for instance, we have two Youth Advisory Council members at the White House Youth Summit today, and one former Youth Advisory Council member who is a youth associate with us now got to speak on the panel with Acting Secretary Sue. So if you have any young people that are interested, we'd love to have them apply. I'll put it in the chat when I can finally find it, the application. And then the other thing that is both for youth and practitioners is our annual forum that's coming up. I know I shared this with folks that were on last week. We were all on by accident, but this is coming up in Atlanta as well. So big year for Atlanta, but that I do have the link for. And it's March 4th through 6th. And it is titled Together Toward Tomorrow, Pursuing Youth Prosperity. We have folks from Cape Youth and a number of workshops that I think you all might be interested in regarding DEIA work, youth with disabilities, but in addition to that, a lot of workforce development, stuff going on. You can kind of check out the schedule. We'll have folks from the Department of Labor as well as ODEP at the conference, and Acting Secretary Sue will be one of our keynote speakers. So our registration is open for another week. So if you're interested in coming, definitely grab your tickets. And as I stop talking, I'll be able to find the YAC link. So I'll put that in the chat as well. And feel free to email me if you have any questions.
So I know for us, for Employment Options, we do have a resume building webinar coming up on March 4th, or no, April 4th, I believe, yes. And it is a virtual webinar. It's free, open to the public. So, you know, if anybody wants to, you know, to come view it, or if you have a, you know, want to refer somebody, I mean, it's just about 45 minutes to an hour long on, you know, how to create resumes, you know, get through ATS trackers, all that. It's for work from home and community-based resumes. So, you know, if anybody wants to, you know, shoot me your email or whatnot, or I can send out something when Trinea gets the contact information all set. I can share that with everybody. And yeah, so just wanted to notify everybody of our upcoming webinars.
That'd be great.
I guess I'll just chime in very quickly. We do have a number of open positions listed on our website. Thank you for the tip, Paula. I'm going to do some looking to see if we are compliant, and if we aren't, we will make efforts to get there. But in addition to our normal open positions, we do have 7 summer internships that we just recently posted. So for typically that is primarily for students, undergrad students, grad students, maybe people in between grad or undergrad and grad school. Also can be open to folks that are within a year of graduation. If they've completed graduation, but they're looking to get experience. It's a paid experience. It can be fully remote, but if someone is located near one of our domestic offices, it can also be a hybrid schedule. I guess I'm not sure the best way to get that information out to the group, but I'll try to do that after the meeting. Thank you.
I do want to give one little pitch. We have our, with Hanger Clinic, we have our bilateral above knee amputee clinic coming up in Atlanta. So I noticed several of you mentioned working with amputees, but I'll just put the link here, but it's going to be in April 18th through the 21st. So it's just, if you guys know of anybody that might be interested, just want to put that plug in there as well. So.
I'd also like to put in a plug. I know there are several private organizations, employees, thank you so much. But for those that are in, like Lisa or Anya, where you're looking to place candidates, please don't forget about the federal government. I hope I didn't say a dirty word with that. However, they are the largest employer in the country overall, and I am a former federal employer. I know a lot about writing federal resumes. It's a slightly different animal. I'd love to work with you if you need some assistance, but when you're looking for a job, don't close any doors.
I agree. My father, when he found out my position, he's always in my ear about federal jobs. My father is retired military. He's also retired from a federal job, and he sends me links a lot. He tells me all the time.
I did not know this. This is not a planned plug.
Tells me all the time. But I think I really do. I'm a huge advocate for just having independence, and, you know, just teaching kids in schools and in high schools in that transition age that there are great jobs out there for them in almost any field that they want to be in. So yes, I'm glad you said that. I do. And maybe we can talk, because writing the resume for those jobs is different. And so I would like to do more, and maybe I think what would be helpful for my team is not just two of us knowing how to teach that, but my whole team kind of understanding what that looks like. So we'll be in touch.
I would be honored, very much so.
Okay. Okay.
Do we have any other updates?
No,
Just thank you for putting this together.
yeah, I was gonna
100%.
say the same thing. I was gonna just what a fantastic group of humans on this call. Cass sent me a note earlier, just really impressive group, and thank you for everything you're doing every day in your jobs to make sure that individuals have access to employment and can live the full lives that they imagine themselves living. So thank you all for what you're doing.
Okay, well, thank you guys.
Thanks,
you all.
everyone. Maurice, did you have anything to share? Anything that I missed on youth camp or our YEP Youth Council?
No, just appreciate everyone taking the time to be on the call and being a part of our employment council at the Amputee Coalition. We're super excited about youth camp again. Rockport, Texas got a fantastic location, fully accessible. I mean, our youth are going to have a just life-changing experience from the standpoint they will be talking about it for time to come. And so we're super excited about having our youth down in that area and just the pro-social peer-to-peer development that's going to happen and take place there. Our workforce development track that's going to happen down there. And so just super excited about that, July 15th through 19th. Cannot wait. So
I do have a question for you, Maurice. As far as do you use the local for the camp, like local employees, or do you bring in like junior camp counselors, or is that something that you just get locally because the camp is there, or do you invite like people to apply for those positions for that time to help with camp, or is it volunteers, or how does that go?
great question. It's a combined effort. And so there's camp counselors that are already on site on property to help out with the equipment, the adaptive equipment, all that. And then we do have a grouping of volunteers that are, Amputee Coalition volunteers that we do utilize for those camp counselor roles. We utilize our staff as well to fill those roles as well. And so it is a collaborative effort. And that's been the best approach kind of historically that we've used. So.
Okay, and where is this? I know you said the city, but can you tell me where that is close to?
It's Rockport, Texas. It's right outside of Corpus Christi. It's about 30 to 40 minutes, depending on traffic. Ashley, our Chief Strategy and Programs Officer, can attest to that during our site visit. I mean, it's an absolutely 110-acre phenomenal property. I learned a fun fact while we were down there. 90% of the migratory birds in the world end up in Rockport in Aransas Bay. And so our youth will just have a field day learning about the different birding opportunities down there. So we're super excited again to be in partnership and collaboration with Camp Aransas Zoo in Rockport. So.
And I just to say, it's one of the most accessible spaces I've ever been in. From a they call it the pad. It goes all the way out to the water, over the overpass, out to the water. It's there's no space there that individuals with all levels of disability can't access. And to us, that was probably, Maurice, if I don't want to put words in your mouth, but for me, trying to envision a physical space that could accommodate the needs of the community, the young people that are going to be participating in this event, and then being there and seeing how they are realizing that. I mean, they have a fishing pond that they haven't even opened up because they haven't built the pad down to it yet. But they have two other fishing areas that they have opened up. because it's accessible. And so that's kind of the way they're approaching their space. And it was very impressive.
Well, thank you again, everyone, for such an awesome meeting. I want to thank the AC staff again, Cass, Ashley, Maurice, Patrice, Jordan. Thank you so much for joining our Employment Council meeting. Paula, our Workforce Development volunteer. Just thank you so much again. I'll be sending out by Friday a contact list as well as a sign-up sheet for all of our Amputee Coalition programming for you guys to be part of. So I'll definitely send those things out. If you have any questions for me, you definitely know how to reach me. But again, it's always a pleasure to see each and every one of you. I'll also send out the meeting recording as well. For our Employment Council members that are not on this call, we do have a recap meeting on Thursday from 4 to 4:30 Eastern time. So I will be sharing the information that we discussed during this meeting. But again, it's always a pleasure, and I look forward to speaking with each and every one of you soon. Take care, everybody.
Thank you. Have a great day.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you. Bye-bye.
Talk to you soon.
Thank you. Bye.